online for the,
Sorry, I forgot.
no, it's okay. So I was saying hello to everybody and that my name is Miss Ashley. I'm from Buffalo, New York. So I'm from almost the border of Canada. It gets very cold up here. And I've been teaching online for a few years. Before this, I was teaching in Brazil. Before Brazil, I was teaching in the Dominican Republic. Before that, I was teaching in Rwanda. And before that, I was in Italy and England. So I've been teaching all over the world, and now I'm teaching online. So I have lots of students from many different cultures and countries, and I'm excited to work with you guys today. So we have many students here. It looks like we're of all different ages. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Today we are looking at an article all about pee. Has anybody read the article? Maybe in the chat box you can say yes if you've read the article. Yes, okay, perfect. So in this article, they were talking about new ways, new innovative ways to fertilize plants. All right, so we have Sophie, Cece. Okay, Cece hasn't read it, but I think you'll find it very interesting. I think afterwards you'll want to read it. All right, Chloe. So what are nutrients? Who can tell me what a nutrient is? Maybe Zoe. Zoe, can you tell me what a nutrient is? Do you want to tell us?
Nutrients are a substance that helps plants and animals to grow.
Yes, plants, animals, humans, anything needs a nutrient in order to grow. So what kind of foods do you guys eat? Tell me in the chat box, what food do you eat that is nutritious, that helps you grow, that helps you get better if you're sick or if you want to rest well for a game, a sports game? What kind of nutrients would you eat? Would eat broccoli.
Milk and rice.
Sorry?
Milk and rice.
Okay, milk and rice. I put in broccoli in the chat box. Broccoli always makes me feel better. Any other nutrients? You could put in the chat box.
I think cucumber, maybe.
Cucumbers? Okay, cucumbers. I've seen egg and vegetables. Okay, so lots of nutrients. So if we look here in the reading, it talks about some of the nutrients that plants need. They need soil, sunlight, and water, and they even need some pee, some of our urine, what we excrete every morning when we wake up. Plants can actually use this as a nutrient. And the scientists are calling this pee cycling. So after the scientists are collecting this urine, this pee, and they're using it for plants to use some of the nutrients that we have in our urine, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Very interesting. Would you guys donate your pee to scientists? In the chat box, tell me, would you want to send in your pee to science? No.
No.
No, okay. Well, thankfully, they're not asking for us to send in our pee, but they are finding new ways to collect pee. So instead of you sending in your pee, they would just collect it from the sewer system afterwards. So no worries, you don't have to mail in your pee to the scientists. But the scientists are calling this pee cycling. And who can tell me, pee cycling sounds a lot like what? What kind of word does it sound like? Pee cycling. Is it Yifei? Yifei?
Yeah.
Yes. Yifei, what does it sound like?
It sounds a lot like recycling.
Recycling, yes. And why do you think that they made this play on words, pee cycling and recycling?
I think it's because like recycling is like reusing things and materials to do other stuff. So I think pea cycling basically means like reusing pea to do something else.
Yes. So they're reusing the pea to do what? Do you know what they're using the pea for?
To help plants grow.
Yes, to help plants grow. Perfect response. Thank you, Yufei. All right. And they have a new word. So they're using this to help plants grow. And they even call this liquid gold. So if you ever need a new word, instead of calling your pee or urine, you can call it your liquid gold, because science has now claimed it is liquid gold. And it's really helping these plants grow. So before they were using urine for plants, they were using chemical fertilizers. Can anybody tell me why they wanted to stop using chemical fertilizers? You can either tell me, raise your hand if you want to talk, or you could put in the chat box. Why did they, okay, how about Cindy?
Because it was harming the environment.
Yes, this chemical runoff was harming the ecosystems. So you could say environment, or you could say ecosystems. Both are very strong words to use. And also there's a shortage because of the war that's happening between Russia and Ukraine. So countries are not able to even access chemical fertilizers because of the war. And also these chemical fertilizers were ruining the environment, as Cindy mentioned. So even more reason for us to start sending in our pee to the scientists. And so the headline here is recycling pee could help the planets and help the plants and the planet. Can anybody think of a better headline? Just thinking about what we've talked about. We've only had a few minutes together, but if you could put in the chat box an interesting headline, something that you would make you want to read the article. Maybe I would say, send in your liquid gold. What's a pea cycling? Pea cycling would get me interested. I'd wonder, what is pea cycling? How can I recycle my pea?
Different P.
Different pea. Okay, so different pea could be another headline. Anybody else? You could put it in the chat box. You can say it out loud. Pea cycling, an alternative for chemical fertilizers. Pea cycling for the win. Yes. Sounds like we're all in a group together, pea cyclers. So as I mentioned, you won't actually have to send in your pee, but scientists are trying to find ways to collect pee just from our normal sewer systems. And they can use this pee. It's more natural. As Cindy mentioned, the chemical fertilizers are harming our environment. And so now we have to find alternatives. And this is actually better for our environment. It's cheap. Of course, we know pee is free. It's better for the environment. It helps the plants grow. It's more natural. So it's a bit of a funny way around it, but pea cycling could be our new alternative, a new way to look to the future to help these plants. All right. Would anybody like to add anything else? No words. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing there. Let's see.
Ashley, are you done with
Yes.
your demo?
Yes, we just
Okay,
finished.
Thank you. I'm just gonna stop the recording.